There's two ways to react to new Masters of the Universe content. This.
What?
Or this. Well, there is a third way, but it's frowned upon in most societies.
That shit was so gay. 80s style. Hey, you can never say an unkind word about
He-Man. Also, I laugh at people that call something gay and think it's somehow an insult. I think with any new series, might it be a reboot, a reimagining, or a continuation, disappointment is inevitable. Because we've had over 2 decades to mull over. 40 years. God, I feel old. What could possibly happen next? Nothing put on screen will be exactly like our enthusiastic fanfics.
I'm hoping all this aligns exactly with my fanfic.
Kevin Smith.
If not, I will be very disappointed.
Nostalgia mixed with impatience of new content to devour makes for a pretty toxic environment within any fandom. MOTU is no different. Though as with what happened with the She-Ra series, which I am yet to talk about, because I'm not really sure what more can be said that hasn't been said already about that show.
That shit was so gay.
It's no surprise that we have fans throwing toys out of their prams over this new MOTU series instead of being thankful at all for getting more MOTU content. I mean, we got a new She-Ra series and a continuation of the original He-Man within the space of 3 years.
Please, sir, I want some more.
Though neither of these shows are canonically connected, I prefer to be thankful for more cake than complain that it's not the same kind of cake we had before. Though I can understand the tantrums, since fans were expecting a series starring He-Man and we didn't exactly get that. Though, was that what was promised us? He-Man himself has very little screen time in the first season, which is only 5 episodes long, and yeah, the advertising is partly to blame here, as it did suggest the focus would be on He-Man himself. The focus may not be on He-Man, but he does appear in every episode, and the show is called Masters of the Universe Revelation, not He-Man and the Masters of the Universe Revelation. To me, MOTU has always been an ensemble cast show, with He-Man being the core of the story. I still believe He-Man is the core here. Revelation gives this supporting cast vital character development and focus, and let's face it, the original series didn't do much of that. But then, the original show was much more about teaching morals and, of course, selling toys. Cartoons simply weren't as sophisticated back then as they are today, in both story or in animation. We filled in the gaps ourselves through acting out stories with the toys. After all, these cartoons were more kind of animated video shows, if you can call it animation. I suppose with Revelation, it's sort of demolishing the stories that we made up with the toys, and maybe that's what's getting all the fanboys riled up. I don't know. Or maybe they felt threatened by the scary, strong female character, who were just as powerful, if not more powerful, than the male lead characters. Maybe they forgot Teela was the one who trained Prince Adam and was the captain of the Royal Guard, and maybe a clone at one point, or the daughter of a goddess, instead of just being, tag-along eye candy in a leotard. Teela is too manly looking. Oh dear, where did I hear that complaint before? What do you want? More boobs and legs on show?
Yes, that's a definite yes.
Definite yes.
I can't argue with that. But then again, I feel that this show, so far, has done exactly what the title implied. After all, a show called Revelation would and should be about a previously unknown fact that has now been disclosed to the other characters in a surprising way. Teela herself was the only one who didn't know the secret in the original show. So yeah, maybe the trailer did trick us somewhat, or we're simply mad at a show for something it's not instead of looking at it for what it is. He-Man is, spoilers, is killed off in the first episode, which is a huge twist in the show that I'm sure Kevin Smith and the team behind the show wanted to keep as quiet as possible to avoid spoilers. So perhaps this is why the advertising used He-Man as bait, but is it a bait and switch? Why are fans so annoyed that Teela takes centre stage instead of He-Man? Would they have the same reaction if the focus was shifted to Man-at-Arms instead of He-Man? Are fans really so put off at a strong, powerful woman being the focus instead of a strong, powerful man? I mean, it's not like Teela's taken the strength from anybody else. We have 4 female main characters in what is essentially a sausage fest, and let's not forget, He-Man as a franchise was and is enjoyed by anyone, not just men. The very phrase, "I have the power," can be said by anyone. Anyone can hold that magic sword and proclaim those words. That is why He-Man is so popular. It gave children hope that even they could overcome any problem in their life, if they just believed they had the power within them to do so. Cheesy, I know, but that was the main marketing and appeal of the show to me as a kid, who enjoyed He-Man far more than any other cartoon. At least until I discovered Batman, anyway. But let's talk about the elephant in the room again, He-Man's death. Though Teela's anger about Adam's death and her actions after that come off as self-righteous, I feel that each character is meant to represent the different so-called stages of grief. Some people just cry, like the Queen did. Some go into denial, like the King did, pushing people away. Some simply accept it, like Man-at-Arms did. Some are numb, like Orko and Cringer were, not really knowing how to react yet. And some are just angry, like Teela was, as not only had she lost a dear friend, but now she wonders if she really knew him at all, and why he kept such a secret from her, why her friends didn't tell her, or more to the point, why she couldn't figure it out for herself. I guess my biggest gripe is how Teela marches about with a holier-than-thou attitude, judging and scrutinising everyone else, instead of dealing with her grief and processing it in a healthy way. Saying that, though, I do love how much development Teela's character did receive, though I think I am most impressed with what the show did with Orko. I geeked out like a crazy fangirl when I saw footage of him in the trailer. He's still a bumbling klutz, but he's endearing, and finally is able to show his true power in this series. He's so much more than just a cute comic relief character here, and I am so grateful for that. Overall, so far, I think Revelation does capture the essence of the original series, adopting the same cheesy tone and awkward editing the original had, but it also brings a modern sophistication to the animation, as well as, of course, stellar voice acting. I, for one, can't wait to see more. Also, casting Mark Hamill as Skeletor was ingenious. I'm Mad Munchkin. Stay creative.